Okay, I'm not going to sing for you. I'm not going to sing for you. Hello, everyone. My name is Irvin Russell Pelton Jr., and I am the second son of Irvin and Betty Pelton. This is video number 3. Got to get my notes here. Okay, so we're going to get into it. We're going to try to get in some kind of order so that when you watch the videos, they're in order. I'm tired, just got home. It's Thursday night, got home from work. It's about 8 o'clock, 8:30 here in Hawaii. But anyways, okay, so the last video, we did props and we talked story. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk some stories. And then I got some props for you. That's Tiny back there. Yes, it's a bear. He's about 8 foot tall. I named him Tiny after a friend of mine in All Gray. His name is Tiny. I call him Tiny, one of his nicknames. Some of his friends call him Teddy Bear. Now when they would talk to me about Teddy Bear, the hands, I'll tell you. So when they would talk to me about Teddy Bear, at first I didn't know who they were talking about because I knew him as Tiny. So my buddy over here, his name is Tiny, and it's after you there, Teddy Bear, Ted, in our great Michigan. Okay, some of the things, I'm going to talk about Kenny real quick. Some of the things we used to talk about on the phone about being homeless and, you know, things we had to do and stuff. So that's what these videos are, to bring you up to date where I've been and when I got here. So it's kind of funny, folks, because I would sit on the phone and I would talk to Kenny in Michigan, and you know, we talked as two men, blah blah blah, and he wouldn't do certain things that he felt he should have done, he wanted to do, but he didn't want to be sleeping on the streets and this and that there. The stigma of your friends and family and people knowing that you're living on the streets, you know. And while I was talking to him, that's what I was doing. I was living on the streets, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't call you Aunt Connie. You know, I didn't want you to break your heart, you thinking Irvy's over here, or my nieces and nephews, or a whole bunch of your cousin Sue. You know, hey Sue, how you doing? Yeah, getting ready to lay down on a park bench here. You know, anyway, so I'm gonna bring it up to date. So I told you the first couple of nights what happened at the hotel and stuff, and so now it's like the 4th and 5th night that I'm here. Let me make sure I got my notes here. Yes, okay. I learned something very important. Before I got to Kona, I had to go to Oahu, and that's another story there. But I had to go to Oahu with Kayla, my dog, for quarantine. My very first day, God is great, let me say that. I got hooked up in a situation with a volunteerism, blah, blah, blah. And within 24 hours of being on the island, not being there, not knowing where to go to sleep, I had a place to sleep, a place to volunteer, a place to give my time and stuff. And a young man there, Kaika was his name, we were talking that night. This is the first night I land, Kayla quarantine, I'm in the hotel, then I go get that volunteer the next day. The next night, when I lay my head down, I'm talking to that man, and he tells me, in Hawaii, people are not homeless. In Hawaii, people are houseless, because Hawaii, it's home. And I learned since then that, you know, it's all across the earth. This little ball of dirt that we live on and we walk on and stuff. It ain't about being homeless. We are home, folks. So I kept that in my head, that I wasn't homeless, because I had finally made it to Hawaii, and I finally made it home, you know. And so, but I was houseless. Okay, So we're going to get back to the video. So the waves coming in and me ending up out in the ocean. I told you about that there. I'll tell you that story so you know. So the fourth night, fifth night, I get out of work over that way. I go down Aloha Drive, and I heard from people and talk on the street about a church called Livingstone Church. Okay, so I go looking for this church. I need a place to sleep. So I go down Aloha Drive. I find it. It's like 3.5 mile marker, 4 mile marker out this way, south of Kona. So I find this church, and it's just getting dark. So it's got to be, 6, 7 o'clock at night. So it's just getting dark, and I get to this church, and I walk around. I'm looking for a place to lay down, and in my head, now I've worked a few days, and so I got a couple dollars in my pocket, and I'm thinking I got to find somewhere safe to lay down and go to sleep with, not on no darn park bench or over at the hotel by the beach no more. So I go down this church, and I'm walking around, and the church is on the ocean coast. So when you're standing in the yard of the church, and if you're facing the ocean, which would be west, there's the ocean, lava, waves coming up. There's the church. There's the buildings all. And there's the ocean and their yard, and I walk around and I look, and I see the lava field, and I see some people over there, and I'm looking, and when I look behind the church, I go behind the church and I look, and there's the ocean coast right there, and the waves coming up, and I see this cross, a plain white cross. I swear the thing is 18, 20 feet tall. Huge white cross. There's the ocean, the lava, the church building, and I'm like, that's a perfect place to go to sleep. So, picture this, you got to visualize this. So, again, 7, 8 o'clock, right around there, already had dinner. So, I'm going to lay down, I'm going to go to sleep. And I'm kind of tired because you really don't sleep very well when you don't have a secure system around you. So, I go to lay down, and I fall right to sleep. Now I'm in a Hawaiian shirt, a nice pair of shorts, clean socks and shoes. That's it. I'm in Hawaii, 70-some degrees. I'm cuddled up. I'm cuddled up next to this cross. Bam! I fall asleep. I fall asleep so fast, and then in my sleep, and I'm dreaming, and the dream, I start dreaming that the ocean is carrying me away. Somehow the ocean is washing up on me, and those rocks by the church there, and the ocean is carrying me away, and I'm drowning, I'm fighting all this, and I'm dreaming, and I start coming awake, and I'm wet. And I start realizing that I am not dreaming, that I am soaked to the bone, man. I realize I'm soaked to the bone. My brain, oh my God, the ocean. I'm gonna drown, the Titanic type stuff, and I'm sweating. And as I'm waking up, I'm standing. I'm picture this now. I'm waking up and I'm fighting. Well, when I realize what is going on, folks, is a sprinkler head. Like 6 inches from me, and I'm surrounded with sprinklers. So I'm dreaming that the ocean, I'm getting hitting and that is so damn funny. I jumped up, I thought I was drowning the ocean, and I'm getting hit everywhere around me, man, with sprinklers. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm soaked to the bone, man. I was so glad it was a dream. I laughed probably harder that night, 1 o'clock, behind a church with a 20-foot tall. So then what I do is I look around, and it's a wonderful area. They have a bench carved out of a tree that is right at the edge of the lava and ocean, and it's a bench. So I walk through the sprinkler. I mean, ain't no reason not to. You're soaking ass wet. It's 1 o'clock. So I walk over on that bench, and that's where I go to sleep until sunrise, you know. And so then the next morning, I get up and I go to work, and I come back, eat my dinner and stuff, and I sleep out there again, I think, for like another 7 days, 8 days. Same spot. Now you're probably wondering me, why would a man lay down the same spot? I brought a towel with me. So when I laid down the next night, I put that towel over that sprinkler, man. When all the other ones popped up, I was like, okay. So that's a cute story. I love it, folks. I love it. And I got to tell you something about that cross. I should tell you now. I was going to make a video to. No, I won't. There's more story to the cross, and I'll make a video at the cross some night. I'll make a video. Okay, and then so that was the story about the ocean almost washing me away, and it was all a dream, and I thought I was drowned in it. Okay, and then the other thing about the paint, cousin Timothy Hart, I knew it. And I knew your mama, and I knew your daddy. I knew a lot of people, when they seen that paint in the car and stuff, they would know. What we're doing with that, oh, look at here. Check this out, folks. I got my notes, but I can't read them. I told you I was tired. It's at the end of the day. Okay, yep. So we're going to paint the car here in Hawaii. Ever since my kids were little, darn, I don't know how long this video is. Heck, I'm going to tell you that. So the first time, 20 some years ago, with my children, Brittany and Bradley, we painted a Ford Ranger, and we've been painting every vehicle that I have owned ever since then. Lincoln Town cars, Cadillacs, vans, and buses, and RVs, and so on. And the very first time was with my children. And like I said, I pulled that vehicle up in front of the house one Sunday morning. Had all the tape and the plane. I already had it planned out. Boom. And me and Brittany and Bradley and Billy and Brittany and Dawn, we started painting that vehicle. Well, I've been painting every vehicle I've owned since then. So I get to Hawaii, and yes, nowadays I have a car. You've seen it in the last video. It's an Acura, a 2002 Acura, and that's another great story someday. So, getting here, and all the things that are going on, you're going to find it all out. I just wasn't sure about painting the car. And so I decided I'm going to paint it. A couple things have happened. Plus, I remember, the first vehicle that we painted. And then we painted another vehicle. It was a Lincoln Town car. And in All Gray, Michigan, little Timothy Hart and I, when I had the privilege of opening up Uncle Irv's Barbershop there in All Gray, we pulled that Continental in front, and with the blue paint that we used to paint the barbershop, him and I painted the car was white already. So him and I painted the nose blue, and then we took off from there. Uncle Bob's birthday party up there in Greenbush. Uncle Bob and Aunt Janice, it was Uncle Bob's birthday. I pulled that Lincoln Town car up in there, and I remember some of the girls were visiting from Indiana and stuff like that. The youngest kid crawling around on the car was like 3 years old. And when we were painting stripes and putting stars on and gluing them, and we were finishing them that way, And then I got pictures of the RV. John Bakke John and Thelma Baki in North Dakota, that my love and I had the privilege of knowing and being friends with him. Now we bought the RV from, blah blah blah. I got pictures of him, 84 years old, with a paintbrush helping us paint a 40-foot RV like an American flag. So that flag vehicles and all the love and support that I got from everybody that's associated with that stuff, I'm going to continue it here. So we're getting ready to paint my car. Now, we started, and again, we'll get you some videos and pictures and stuff like that. I'm hoping that I could get some people that I know here involved in it too, because every vehicle I've done, it's always had a group of people that have done it, and then I've had the privilege of driving it around. So we're going to do that here in Hawaii. So that's what the other prop was. So the prop there, and the story about being washed away. And let's see. Okay, we got okay, we got to turn the page here. Okay, big RV, John Bach prop. Okay, so that, you know, I tell you about the sleeping, and I'll tell you more about my sleeping. I stayed down there at Livingstone Church. I believe it was, you know, memory. I just had my 60th birthday. Happy birthday to me just a little while ago. Anyway, so slow memory recall. So I believe about 7-8 days. Okay, our props now. This is one of our props. I already introduced you. That's Tiny. Tiny is about 8 foot tall. Not heavy. Not heavy. He looks like he's heavy, but he's pretty much a marshmallow. Pretty much a marshmallow. But anyways, he's our next prop. And man, I got a funny ass one. I think this is hilarious. I think this is a hilarious one. This is a prop here. I'm gonna fold it up. Okay, this is a prop. Look at how small. But that prop is probably going to be one of the. It's a very big prop once we fold it out, and we're going to fold it out. Okay. And let's see what that is. Okay. It doesn't matter what's written on it. In fact, I'm going to turn it inside out, because nothing against some people, but let's not forget, you know, it's all about what the prop is. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. And this is a prop. You see my hands up inside of it there? And what do you think it is? What do you think it stands for? And what are we going to do with it, huh? So we're going to put that prop over there. We're going to say aloha to Tiny. And I love you. I won't get sentimental, but I got to say this in closing. A lot of times for the last year and a half, I have not called or made the videos. I almost disappeared, and a lot of you has been wondering. And a few days ago, the powers that be in this world and on this earth, in this wonderful body that I've been given to travel through life, was reminding me that, you know, when it's all said and done, it don't mean shit, folks. It don't mean shit unless you have a faith, unless you believe in the Creator, and so on and so forth. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the life that I live with you folks. I love you. I really, really do. I'm so grateful for every passing moment. And as they say in Hawaii, Huey Ho.